Hello beauties, Naomi here. Thanks so much for hitting that play button. I'm going to share with you in this video some of the healthy foods that are actually totally unhealthy for you. I'm going to start with organic processed foods. It's a really tricky subject, right? We think that organic is so good for us, but when we learn a little bit more, if something has been processed, let's say an organic bar, nutritional bar, and you turn it over and you look at the facts and it says organic sugar, for example, like organic raw sugar, that is not healthy. Secondly, how about that trail mix, right? You might be eating some trail mix that you think is so good for you, and oh my, it's so tasty, but it's got these yogurt covered raisins, it's got the banana chips that have been deep fried. That is not good for us. Number 3, peanut butter, low-fat peanut butter. How many people realize that peanut butter is actually good for you, but then you cut the benefit by making it low-fat? Stop with the low-fat, which brings me to number 4, vegetable oil. If in your pantry you've got anything like rapeseed oil or any of the vegetable oils other than like olive or avocado, take it out and throw it in the garbage. It is destroying your health and that of your families. Number 5, when you go to a restaurant, it could be a healthy restaurant. Ask them how they make their food. Which oils do they use in their food? This is an area that I've fallen prey to many, many times. I think I'm going to this great natural restaurant, but they take the oil that they cook with and they cut it half with rapeseed, canola, and half with olive. It's just not fair. Number 6, margarine. I grew up eating butter, and I thank my mother for never bringing margarine into my house, but most people eat a lot of margarine and they think it's good for their health. It's not. It's one of the worst things that you can put into your body, and studies show it actually contributes to all sorts of different diseases and illnesses. So get that margarine out. Gluten-free. A third of our country is gluten-free, and yet so many of the gluten-free foods are filled with processed junk. And for that reason, we have to be so very, very, very careful, right? The next one is the Electrolytes sports drinks. Do you give your kids those when they're playing their sports? Have you ever taken a look at the amount of sugar or artificial sweeteners that are in them? Throw them in the garbage, which makes me think about fruit juices, right? How many kids guzzle away on the apple juice, drink the even fresh pressed fruit juices? They're filled with sugar. You gotta wipe them out. With all these healthy foods that are actually unhealthy, it becomes even more complicated in today's climate, where so many of us have allergies or sensitivities. 2 of my children have casein sensitivity, so they don't incorporate dairy into their diets. So what are the alternatives? Well, rice milk is not healthy. So many of us have thought it was for all those years, but you're just getting all of those carbs, which turn into glucose. And think about soy milk. Do you really want to be putting that soy into your body? So those are 2 others that I just wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. I want you to keep an eye on those labels. You're smarter than the big food companies that are trying to fool us, and I'll see you next time.